What's going on, great people? Welcome back. Your favorite fantasy football homeboys in the house. We're here to break down the week 5 reactions. This is a live look into our initial reactions to the week 5 as far as the 1 o'clock and the 4 o'clock NFL games. So, where are we going to start at? I guess we could just start with what we were just talking about. The Texans whooping ass. A belt to whoosh, whoosh, whoosh.
That was ugly.
Baltimore.
That was ugly.
Gosh, yo.
That was really ugly. That I did not have
44-10, yo. 44-10 Texans. Good Lord, yo.
Did not have the Ravens 1-4 in my cards to start the year. But yeah, I mean, yeah, man, it's about CJ Stroud today, man. It's really what it was about. It's about CJ Stroud and obviously the Houston Texans defense, which their defense, yes, they do. They do. Yes.
Yo, Chris, man. Yo, what up, Chris? Chris, he used to be on our shows when it came to like David and George and stuff like that. So appreciate you coming on, Chris, and showing some love. Please like and subscribe because we out here twice on Sunday and on Monday. So yes, the Saints got to win, and Johnny did call that. The Giants looked good for a while, but then yeah, they fell apart. All these turnovers just to segue into it. All these turnovers just like started piling, and you're like, oh boy, okay. So maybe Dart hasn't arrived yet.
I don't think it's that he hadn't arrived. I just think, like, again, man, the Saints have been pesky all year long, man. You know, and sometimes, like, you know, talk about this morning, sometimes it's the context of, you know, of who teams have been playing, not necessarily their record. And I think you could say that with the Saints and Rattler as well, like talking about like his lack of turnover so far, playing at home. Obviously, I felt like it was a pretty even matchup. Great win for the Saints today, though, for sure. Definitely excited and happy for them. Definitely still left a lot to be desired on the ground game, but through the air, Spencer Rattler, man, 225 yards, 1 touchdown, QB rating of almost 100 at home. And that defense, you know, like you mentioned, man, turned over Jackson Dart a few times. I think we've seen a couple of warts in their running game with Scatterbo, 3.9 yards per carry. But it looks like somebody might have arrived for the New York Giants and Theo Johnson. So I think that's somebody, you know, we got to keep an eye out on for next week. I know he had popped off in your tight end article. So yeah, so be on the look for that right there, man. The article and just Theo Johnson as well tomorrow or Tuesday, whenever your waivers run.
Totally. And yeah, like Theo Johnson came out and Dart was looking for him too, like in the goal line. And kind of said it before the season started that like Theo Johnson should have been utilized more. Big body target tight end from Penn State. Like he should have been used like, you know, a little bit more this year. So sometimes, you know, some things you just got to marinate on a little bit for them to come to bubble up to the surface. So this was one of those moments. Heading into the 1 o'clock, still staying with the 1 o'clock games. Miami was looking pretty good for a while, and then it came crashing down to earth. Panthers get it done at home again, 27-24.
Yeah, they did. They got it done again. Uncle Rico getting out there, getting freaky today. You know,
freaky deaky, yo, over 200 yards rushing, yo, freaky deaky, bro.
Probably, you know, most fantasy managers, the moment, you know, talked about this morning, the moment you heard calf, a lot of people ran out there to the waiver wire to do it. Actually, I got my first win in my home league, and Rico Dowdle was the reason why. The injury bug has destroyed me. I actually even tried to trade somebody, Rico Dowdle, before I tried to trade somebody, Dowdle.
He ain't doing it now.
No, he had Chuba Hubbard. I tried to trade him for Sam Darnold. So I ended up actually, ironically enough, this lineup I hated today. I ended up starting 2 Texans and 2 Panthers in this lineup. And obviously it paid off. Bryce Young, 2 touchdowns today, had an interception and a fumble. Ted McMillan continues to be a one-man show out there.
Yep.
Continues.
Xavier Leggett caught a touchdown pass. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And then Jalen Waddle, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but one of his first passes he caught, then he goes to the sideline. I'm like, Jesus, here we go. Here we go again. And then Darren Waller, man. Jeez, man. Somebody tweeted out, man, the best thing that could have happened to this dude was he failed as a rapper. I was like, I guess so, man. Maybe I need to start trying to rap. Yeah. Maybe I need to start trying to rap, man. And then Devon Achane, man, we said this morning that, that was the guy on this slate, man, and he came up small for us in this spot here today. And, more questions for the Miami Dolphins in the real world, not so much in the fantasy space. Tua put up a pretty solid day, 3 touchdowns, 256 yards, but I think more real life questions now with McDaniels, not in the fantasy space. So be interested to see how things kind of progress or digress with the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah. And you called that. But Devon Achane unfortunately failed us today. But it is what it is. Just didn't understand why Miami stopped running the football and just got a bit too much pass happy. I know the game was back and forth, but just some teams you see trends and you're like, man, like they stopped doing something that was getting them ahead. So, it is what it is. For all the Devon Achane fans out there, we're sad today, but there's always next week.
Yeah.
There's always next week. But I'll say this, like Carolina, like, it's just one of those funky, weird teams. Like, literally. They just play better at home, like we talked about earlier. And it's just weird. Like, you think they're going to be turning the corner, and then all of a sudden they smack you up. Like I don't get it. But the other game we'll get into now, Cowboys whooping that ass. Whooping that New York Jets ass. Yeah, what are you going to do? 0-5 in a year. That's right. And again, just is what it is, man. We know the Jets. There was some optimism coming into the season. We knew this year was going to be a growth year. So what else are you going to say? The offense looked better this time coming around, but again, just like with the Bucks 2 weeks ago, and then even in Miami, it's like the offense just comes around way too late. Justin Fields' processing is still really slow. And that's worrisome for me because it just feels like he just takes another 2 seconds longer than your average quarterback to process what's happening. And that's just not good. Because when you need to start scoring, when you need to start putting those points up, you can't have that so long of a process to be like, all right, well, this person over here. It's like, no, just get the ball, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall, and then Mason Taylor. That's it. Don't worry about anybody else.
Yeah.
But Breece Hall over 100 yards rushing today was a really good sign to see. But again, like, just that's the Jets side. For Dallas, Dak is cooking with hot ass grease. Over 8 touchdowns in his last 2 games. Is just a flamethrower right now. And this is without CeeDee Lamb. Jake Fergie came through for us in the betting world today. But yeah, instead of Jalen Tolbert, this Ryan I don't even know how to say his last name. Denoy?
Flowery?
Flowery? Whatever. Where the heck did he come from?
Hey, man, they're playing the Jets, That's what it is, man.
Yeah,
people show up and have career days against the Jets, man. Jake Ferguson definitely was somebody I had mentioned this morning, was in play for me for DFS as well as Javonte, just to be different. And those 2 guys definitely paid off their tag today for sure. Jaden Blue got his first real game action today. Nothing to write home about. So that's something, obviously, I think like a lot of people have been looking forward to, is to see like what he would do out there. Definitely talked about the Jets having a problem stopping the run in between the tackles, and that was highlighted today.
Javonte
with Javonte for sure.
Jesus.
And then Justin Fields. I mean, like again, like from a fantasy perspective, 283 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's not bad, especially in DFS. His price tag. And if you were playing him in season long, like that's not bad either. But yeah, like just in the real world, It's kind of sucks. And then Garrett Wilson, his stats came in garbage time. Again, like he was the one player that like I thought should have been the best option for the Jets, but turns out that wasn't the case today. So needless to say, the Jets are now 0-5. Things are not looking good for them in any respect of life at all. Yeah, my man Mac. Yeah, the Titans.
Well, we'll get to that. But yeah, look, yep, Jets terrible. Cowboys win again. They win versus the tie. So they're 2-2-1 on the year.
Yeah,
so ridiculous. To the Ravens we go.
Well, yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it already. There's really not a lot to talk about. It's CJ Stroud, it's that defense, and it's lack of star power for the Baltimore Ravens. And until, they get healthy, unfortunately, this might be what it is for the Baltimore Ravens. I think they have the LA Rams up next, I believe. So that's not a good team to be playing when you're in the state that the Ravens are in.
Nope. Broncos steal one on the road. That was definitely a heist mission, wasn't it?
Yeah. Like
18 unanswered points.
Knew it was gonna be
unanswered points.
Knew it was gonna be a good game, man. Like for sure. Like they're both good teams. Definitely knew it was gonna be a good game.
18 unanswered points.
Yeah, man.
See that coming.
Philly's been weird though, man. Like they've been weird. Like they haven't been very good against the run. They haven't been able to run the ball. I think we obviously know like the splash plays haven't been there in the passing game. So you're playing a guy like Sean Payton, shit can happen. And like obviously J.K. Dobbins, man, like I'm not gonna say like it was on him, but like 79 yards and a touchdown, like being able just to have a run game and have a presence against a team like the Philadelphia Eagles and for the Denver Broncos and what it is they like to do, that makes perfect sense. Cortland Sutton, it's a big game, right? Big game. So typically, your big time players show up, and he did today with 8 catches and 99 yards in that space. But the Eagles, man, it's just it's the guys that like you expect that should be making plays aren't making plays. And those guys are Saquon Barkley and AJ Brown. Like those are the guys that aren't making plays. And if you have AJ Brown on a team and you're winning, God bless you, because like you probably spent high end capital on him round 1 or round 2. He shows up today with 5 catches for 43 yards. And Jalen Hurts continues to, to be very, very solid as far as the quarterback goes. 280 yards and 2 touchdowns. Didn't really give us a lot on the ground, man. Only had 2 attempts, and I think that's something just to call out is typically when the Philadelphia Eagles are at their best, you see Jalen Hurts being able to, to run around a little bit. That obviously did not happen today. And as you mentioned, 18 unanswered points for the Denver Broncos. I think this was a huge win for them, especially trending the way that the LA Chargers are trending now and Omarion Hampton, et cetera. And then, it's definitely a big win for the Denver Broncos for sure.
Yeah. And I'll just say, they just put it together. But honestly, there was some ticky-tack stuff going on late in that game, though, in my opinion, too. That was like, was that a call? Was that not a call? I don't know. But, yep, Eagles lose for the first time with Jalen Hurts at quarterback since week 4 last year.
Almost a full calendar year, man.
So wild, yo.
That is crazy.
Talked about that already. Colts horse kicked the Raiders. Geno Smith, man.
Woo, it's time. It's time. It's over.
What was that, yo?
I feel like one of those interceptions. I think if I remember, I think one of them was.
It was a tip.
Yeah, it was a tip pass. Yeah, so so I'll give him that. But
this offense wasn't even fluid like that, though. Like Jacoby Myers didn't do anything,
bro. That's the guy. That's the guy
what is happening?
That was terrible. That was terrible. Like for him today. And then didn't hear any Ashton Genty truthers taking laps today. Must have missed that one.
That's okay. Yeah, it's all a game. Raiders didn't score any touchdowns, so what do you expect?
Hey man, I don't know, man. Just
oh boy,
I don't know.
Don't do that.
Don't do what? Don't do what? Nobody's taking no laps today. Nobody's planting flags. No. Oh, Jonathan Taylor, 3 touchdowns today, 66 yards. Just calling it out, man. Yeah, man. Obviously, leading the AFC South is the Indianapolis Colts, looking like they are, the cream of the crop as far as like that division goes. Daniel Jones, man, got back on track. Passing game was, I don't want to say it was weird. It was just spread out for him today. I think this is really what we can expect for him. I think this is kind of, what he is, right? Is 220, 240 yards, right? Obviously, in this situation, they didn't have to throw the ball, given the fact that, they could, do whatever they wanted to do, and the Raiders were turning the ball over all over the field. Tyler Warren, another touchdown again. The Colts, man, like this is what it is, man. I can't believe we're saying it.
Marion Hampton, because he got hurt. Side note, leaving the locker room in a walking boot.
That's pretty typical for ankle sprain. So I'm not gonna get too carried away with it.
I know.
Not gonna get too carried away with it. This is
man. It's all these impactful injuries, bro. We're only in week 5, yo.
Yep.
It's draining. It's definitely just draining. Like,
it is.
Lord, yo. Like, what
it
is. Football's gonna football.
Yep, it's
football's
going to.
Gonna definitely football.
It is going to.
Yeah. To the next game we go. We have the 4 o'clock game. I think that was
4 o'clock games. Yeah. No, we're ready to go for the 4 o'clocks now. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's time to talk about those Titans. I guess.
Oh my god. Yeah, bro.
I guess I'm talking about those Titans. I guess, and how the Cardinals once again choke away a lead, late in the game, and ultimately lost the game because they don't know how to throw the ball to McBride and MSJ down the stretch. Titans get their first win of the year on the way they even scored a touchdown was ridiculous. If you saw the play, I don't remember who fumbled the ball.
I think it might have been Ridley, actually.
Was it Ridley?
I think it was Ridley. Yeah, I think it was Ridley caught it, and then Lockett. Gets kicked around, and then Lockett was the one that jumped on it. It's like, I went in the other room and I came back in and I seen him like running to the sideline with the ball. I was like, oh yeah, I was like, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
We're scoring touchdowns.
I was like, that's what we're doing. And then I seen the play. I was like, man, if that ain't the most Arizona Cardinal / Tennessee Titan way, oh man, I don't know what is. But like, yeah, what an ugly game. I will say this though, man. I didn't do it, but because I was like, I'm just like, now I'm just chasing now. But after the Kyler Murray weirdness where the ball gets snapped and hits him in the face, and then he goes to the locker room with his foot. I was like, man, this would probably not be a bad time to just take not the Titans on the money line, because I ain't that guy, but just the Titans in the points. And I was like, no. I said, man, you just being ridiculous now. Just stop. You out here chasing. And man, probably would have worked out pretty well for me, man. So definitely happy for Cam Ward in his 265 yards. You would think I would be a lot happier today, considering the fact that Calvin Ridley finally got his 130 yards on 5 catches today. But of course, I took him out in every single lineup that I have him in, except for Scott Fishbowl. But yeah, took him out. Chig got, the 4 for 40. So the classic tight end move, right? There's that. And then dude, I don't even know what to say about the pass catchers for the Cardinals. Marvin Harrison did have 98 yards though, man. And a lot of that came on the first play. So there's that. And then just the run game, man. But I don't even know how to say his name. Yes, but in DeMarcado in his situation, man, where he, added Mitchell's it again. And ultimately ends up costing the Arizona Cardinals the game, man. So crazy, man. Crazy.
McBride only 5 catches, 41 yards though. It's
this should have been a smash Kyler Murray spot. Should have been a smash Kyler Murray spot.
Yep. I agree. And it's just, it feels like we talk about this every year now with Murray. And I'm kind of sick of talking about it, really. Because Murray is just one of those quarterbacks that you're waiting for him to turn a corner. And the fact that he hasn't, it's now if you're Arizona, it's these type of situations, it's you just wonder if you want to keep on continuing him as being your so-called franchise guy at the quarterback position. It's not like you're really going anywhere right now with him. Would you agree with that, or?
I think I don't want to say it's too early, right? But I still think like there's still a lot of football left to be played. I think last year was definitely that was disheartening for sure because I'm pretty sure they were leading the division for quite a while and had a chance.
They sure were.
You know,
they lost the lead the last like 4 or 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah. So I think I think you have to wait and see how it plays because I think there's a lot of moving parts in the NFC West. Like the Rams, the Rams look good some weeks, and obviously we just seen what happened with them in San Francisco. San Francisco is not; they're not even healthy, and they are, and you know, and they're out ahead of everybody. And then we just
that's my point, though.
And then the Seahawks, man, like even though they lost today, like the Seahawks are a really good football team, man. Like they're a really good football team. So
get the Colts next week, the Packers after that, a bye week, Dallas, Seattle.
Ooh, well. Yeah,
so and then this was supposed to be one of the, as far as a calendar goes and potential predictive, they should have won this game. Saints, Panthers, they beat them, but just couldn't beat the Titans today. It's like you just wonder, you know what I'm saying? That's all it is for me. It's like it still might be too early. We might get a little bit more like, Murray could show his face up later, but it just hasn't looked well, is what I'm trying to say too. It's like it's only like, do you just get that feeling that like they should change up some things potentially in the offseason? That's what I'm trying to say. But
yeah,
I don't.
Yeah.
Is Emeka Egbuka the best receiver in football? Well, I would say Puka Nacua would be, obviously. Emeka is definitely getting there because he went the heck off in a win against Seattle. And what I'll say is that, Baker, we talked about it earlier. Like Baker, he plays serious football. He's gonna gun. But your boy Darnold gunned as well.
Yeah.
Probably gonna beat me this week, which is cool. But I'll say this, like, this was a great fun game, wasn't it?
yeah, like definitely. Like I, talked about it this morning, man. Like, you have the two, statistically, you have the two best wide receivers in football playing in one game, and like, what else should you expect other than a shootout? And that's exactly what we got. Talked about Sam Darnold, and what he was able to do so far this season against the blitz, and we know what Tampa Bay is going to do. We know what Todd Bowles is all about. Man, never changes. Both quarterbacks over 300 yards in this game, so obviously, it was a shootout. Running backs, Ken Walker. I mean, I guess his box score, I mean, it's not that bad with the 86 yards for sure. But Egbuka and JSN, two OSU guys just going out there balling today, man. And it was nice to see the return of Cade Otton. Weird for him to show his face today in the middle of all of this shootout. So, yeah, man, like I said, man, I thought this was going to be the best game of the day for sure. And it ended up being the best game of the day. In my opinion. And I think for DFS or just fantasy or, whatever you got going on, like bets and stuff, man, any game Baker Mayfield's in, man, just go after it, bro. Just go after it. Cause he's going to do what he's going to do. And I think this is the version of Baker Mayfield, right? During the offseason or earlier, in the draft season, people were like, well, you can't take him that high. You shouldn't take him that high because he's got to hit this number, that number, this number, that number. And it's like, man, listen, you know what? Sometimes I understand the math part of it, but sometimes, man, it's just football, man. And right now, the Buccaneers, if Bucky Irving allegedly is going to be out multiple weeks, and if Bucky Irving is out multiple weeks, I have a sneaky suspicion this is what you can expect from Baker Mayfield is these 300-plus yard games moving forward and multiple touchdowns. And if that's the case, obviously, Emeka Egbuka, he's going to cash in. And then Chris Godwin, man, weird for him today, 26 yards. They start off trying to give him the ball in the first series of plays, and then after that, it just faded away. So so I just think this is what it is, man. It's Emeka Egbuka's turn, and I might dare make the argument and say 5 weeks into this, you could make a very strong argument that he could be the best wide receiver in football through 5 weeks. So a lot of football left, right? But definitely big win by the Buccaneers on the road today.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue against that. It's just because the way that Baker established Emeka already, we talked about that earlier, where before coming into this game, a 30%, target share, so with Emeka, and I think the biggest part about their connection really is because no matter what defense they play against, I'm gonna find my guy the ball. Yeah. And that's something you just can't necessarily teach. It's just more about the chemistry. So kudos to those Bucks. Lions game was dull for a while. Started to look like Cincinnati was just gonna kind of just all right, we're kind of mail it in. It was like 21-3 at one point. But it came back. Like you said, showing some fight here. Chase. First of all, sorry, Ja'Marr Chase. Let's talk about him. Like, it's just a constant reminder of the Spike Week came today, and we said it when it came down to the schedule lightening up for him, for the Bengals just a little bit after the last two games. It's let's just see what happens against Detroit and whatnot. But again, Chase, 110 yards receiving, 2 scores. And look, I have no idea what to still take from this in a way, because do we trust that Browning is going to be able to still keep Chase as a high-end wide receiver too? Because that's where it with some potential wide receiver 1 ceiling like today, or is it more is it really just more matchup based? Because they get Green Bay next, they get at Lambeau, it'll be home to Pittsburgh week 7. The Jets, which is obviously a spot you can attack, and then Chicago, which is also a place you can attack. So is it one of those things where it's hey, you just have to start Ja'Marr Chase no matter what? Or is it more hey, sell him high now to someone that really wants him, because now you can just be oh yeah, Chase is back, baby. Here it is.
Yeah, see, I think I'm glad you brought that up, because that's always a thing that's always kind of funny to me. It's we're all watching the same games. So we're all watching the same game. So there's just a part of me. We're all watching the same game. So there's just a part of me that just says, what did you see, or what were you looking at, or what do you know that the next person doesn't? And I'm not trying to get on a soapbox or anything, but Jake Browning is still the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals. And
sure is.
If you have Ja'Marr Chase, chances are, right? You just got to ride it out, with Chase, and hopefully your team doesn't suck so bad that, you're trying to move off of Ja'Marr Chase to, bring back.
Some people may have to after this week, though.
Well, yeah, I get it. You're gonna have to, but here's the reality of it, right? Is you said, the owner that has multiple players, or that has the roster that can absorb the Ja'Marr Chase trade, we're watching the same game, and you're not getting back the same, and you're not gonna get back the same haul for Ja'Marr Chase in a redraft league for a trade. You're not going to.
But I do think there's some type of silver lining ish that where if you do have Ja'Marr Chase and you are needing, like we talked about with Derrick Henry, which Derrick Henry, I just sometimes believe you don't have to ride with a certain player just because. I think it's more about can you get a fair deal for what the player is now? Because I do think that can be had. It's more about just sometimes sticking with things just to stick with things isn't always the best move, because it's always hey, this game is always constantly changing. So it's you have him, and all of a sudden something happens to your player, and it's oh, he got nicked up, and now I've got no more depth. And it's more injuries are happening all the time. So it's taking this opportunity to probably to sell him is something I think people should be considering.
Yeah, no, again, if your team stinks, that's fine. I have Chase on the roster.
It's not people's team stinks. It sucks.
No, look, if your team, if your team sucks, man, if your team sucks and you got to do something, all right, that's cool. You got to do something, but for me and the one team that I have Ja'Marr Chase on,
yeah,
I don't I'm just gonna.
You don't feel needed. I don't. It's gonna. This is gonna vary.
Yeah, I don't I don't have a need to, and I just I don't. You're not you're not, and I don't want to go crazy on this subject, but you're not going to get back fair value for Ja'Marr Chase. You're just not going to. So if you're not going to get fair value for Ja'Marr Chase, if you're going to try to send me some shit, I will just take my chances with Ja'Marr Chase.
At that point.
But no, just hear me out. I will take my shot with Ja'Marr Chase in this space, because all it takes, as we talked about this morning, all it takes for him is 1 or 2 plays in 1 or 2 unique situations, and he's going to pay off his value. It's not about who it is, right? Because the script for the Bengals was going to be the same, whether it was Joe Burrow or whether it was Jake Browning. It's not like it's a running back where you can get phased out like a Henry. With Jamar Chase, like he's going to be running pass routes no matter what, because the Bengals are going to be playing from behind, so he can still get there. So I feel like he's just a guy you got to hold on, man.
I hear that. I definitely hear that for sure. The Lions side of things, Amon-Ra, still doing Amon-Ra things.
Yeah.
Montgomery coming out, a homecoming, because he's from the area. Threw a touchdown pass.
Yep. Seen that. I was like, okay, that's what we're doing out here. All right.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing.
All right, that's cool. That's cool too.
But yeah, I mean, look, another, I want to say easy win, because it kind of was for Detroit, but Laporta went out here and had a game today. Like, pretty quiet day in a way for Gibbs and in some type of way, but yeah, we'll just have to see how Detroit fares against, obviously, bigger and badder opponents. But yeah, look, if you have Chase, see what kind of offers you can get for him. But yeah, like you said, Johnny, don't be offering me no crap value trades. JD5 is back. Commanders win 27-10 against the Chargers. And wow, what a second half it was in a weird way for the Chargers. They lose Amarion Hampton, who is potentially now in a walking boot. So that's not good news. And Herbert and this offense just looked like they were just getting stymied by this Commanders defense. Anytime they got close to the red zone, it was like they just didn't punch it in. They turned it over. It was just sloppy for the Chargers. But it's weird. JD5 came back to the fold, and Daniels just looked like Daniels. And my guy Deebo Samuel looking like him out there. Look, said it before the start. The Chargers pass defense, like, I don't know. They were definitely getting whipped up. But by this whole Commander offense. So, and Bill, right, finally has a decent game today, right? I'm sure people are running laps about that one. But yeah, what you got to say, Johnny?
No, I think Jaden Daniels obviously being back, we've seen it, the Commanders the Commanders with Marcus Mariota, we've seen what they look like. We've seen defensively they've been pretty solid. We've talked about their pace on offense for sure. And this wasn't even Jaden Daniels' best performance, 231 yards and 1 touchdown. You didn't get a lot from him in the running game today. 39 yards, which is mild for Jaden Daniels. And yeah, Bill was back. And I won't even say Bill was back, but I think it's fair to say that with any type of mobile quarterback like a Jaden Daniels or Lamar Jackson, your running back situation definitely gets a lot better whenever you have a mobile guy that's out there on the field that can do the things that Jaden Daniels can do. So I think that's exciting if you're a Washington Commanders fan. I think obviously it's exciting if you have Jaden Daniels, although a day like today probably didn't necessarily pay off his price tag in terms of DFS or in season long, but real world football got the dub. And then the Chargers, man, looks like the Chargers are just back to doing Charger-esque things, right? I thought about this morning, didn't say it out loud because I was I'm probably just in my head too much, but I was typically if a team struggles against or loses against another team in that division, right? The division is made up a certain way, right? All the divisions are made up a certain way. Obviously, I'll just refer to the AFC North. You have it being very quarterback heavy, at least in the past, with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, and now whatever the Cleveland Browns have, right? So you have the offenses, the real big offenses, and then you have the Steelers, who are supposed to be a really big defense, right? So I was just thinking, if they struggled against the Giants, I wonder what this is going to. I was you know what? No, never mind, man. I was the Chargers, they're a good football team. I was I like it. They're at home, this should be. And here come the Commanders, right? So, just definitely, I think now, hey, man, we can move off the fact that the Chargers beat the Chiefs on week 1. We're past that. That's over a month. Happened over a month ago now, right? So now if we take a look what is this? The last two weeks. What do they got? L's hung on them the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, right? NFC East teams, and I think we all know the NFC East is not exactly known for being a powerhouse of a division. So I think there's starting to see
always a competitive one, but
competitive one for sure, right? Just in its own real unique way, right? But the Giants, and again, like, you know, styles make fights. So like I won't say just because this team won or this team lost, whatever. But I think like we are starting to see some of those offensive line issues creep up for the Chargers, right? Because the Commanders' defense is one of the better defenses in the NFL that we don't talk about. So I think we've seen that today. And then I think too, man, just like the Chargers trying to go out of their way to get Ladd McConkey involved today. I don't know. I understand why, but like, you know, they had a pretty good thing going. You know, with Keenan Allen and Quentin Johnston, and none of those guys really popped off today. So, and no Marion Hampton, obviously we talked about that, man, like him in the walking boot. So obviously we'll find out a little bit more about that tomorrow, which might be scary hours for a lot of fantasy owners, but keep an eye out on this Chargers situation, man, because they might be getting ready to take us for a ride. You know what I mean? So, but definitely big win for the Commanders today, man.
Yeah, definitely was. Yeah, it's just you kind of definitely wonder like how this, like, you know, the Hampton stuff is like going to be something we're going to kind of hold our breath on because, man, I can't afford to have another running back hurt.
Yeah.
The good news is for the Chargers, they get Miami next week. So I mean, that should be a bounce back spot. So that's you're hoping that's a bounce back spot for them. To the Sunday football game we go. It starts in about 10 minutes ish. We got the Patriots getting 7.5 on the road going to Buffalo. Over under is, I think, the highest on the slate of games in general, 49.5.
Really?
Yeah. I think out of all the games, I think the Lions game was also 49.5 though. So, so I mean, look, I mean, what I'll say to this game overall is that it's going to be an interesting game between Patriots defense. I'm sorry, the Bills defense, and the New England offense. So obviously, Buffalo Bills are second rated when it comes to pressure, and at that clip, about 45% of dropbacks they get pressure on. So May will have to make some quick decisions fast. On the other side of the football, the Patriots are giving up the second most explosive plays in the entire league. So Buffalo leads the NFL in points per drive and explosive plays. So this is like on paper, it just doesn't look good for New England's defense. Like, it's obviously one of the best quarterbacks in Josh Allen. The under when it comes to the over under here, I'll take the under because division game. I think that if Josh, we said it countless times before, if Josh Allen's not getting pushed, we ain't gonna really see the ceiling Josh Allen. It's still possible that he could get pushed in this spot, but I'm not sure if I really see it. And that's where I kind of land here with it. So give me Buffalo to cover and the under.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to try to get cute or anything, man. Like, this should be a spot where the Bills should absolutely handle business for sure. Like, they've been playoff tested, right? Battle tested. And I think, you know, if you're a player and you see everything that happened today with all these crazy games and these crazy upsets, I think you're the Buffalo Bills. This is just another opportunity for you to kind of submit yourself, right? Especially in the AFC with the way things are starting to shake. Just another really good opportunity for you to take care of business at home in a division game. So give me the Bills for sure. I agree with you. I agree with you on the under, although I do think, again, it could be a place where the Bills could pour it on. And like you said, like the Patriots being one of those teams, one of the worst teams in the NFL or the worst team in the NFL as far as explosive plays go, there's a lot of guys that you got to, account for in this Buffalo Bills offense. So it might get ugly tonight, man. And of course, I'm well rested. So, of course, I won't be ready to go to bed. So go figure.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're staying up with us tonight? Yeah.
I can stay up and watch bad football, nothing better than that. Passing out on good football, staying up for bad football. That's my MO, man.
Oh, my goodness, show. Well, welcome to the show. With that being said, got a few prop plays before we go and get out of here. So the first one I got for you is an easy one. James Cook, anytime touchdown. he is absolutely killing it. I know that line is pretty juice at the moment. But anytime Buffalo's going to get into the red zone, James Cook has been performing really well. So let's just go with the trend and let it keep on rolling. Drake May over 31.5 rush yards. May has averaged 25 rushing yards on the season. And obviously we know he's a dual threat. I just think this line where they have to, I think May has to get a little bit more creative tonight. Matt Milano is back for Buffalo tonight. That worries me a little bit, but I'll say that, again, I think May can find himself finding some explosive plays to get creative, a few breakdowns in coverage when it comes to Drake May. So I think the 31.5 for rush yards makes some sense to take. Stephon Diggs over 4.5. So we'll need 5 catches here. It seems like Stephon Diggs is starting to get more and more together. 6 catches, 101 receiving yards on the season. And yeah, I think with Stephon Diggs, the target share is starting to increase a little bit more as well. So I think in this spot where New England's going to have to get him acclimated, I think Stephon Diggs is a good spot for him. And then last, Josh Allen over 230 pass yards. I think that with how this game can go, I do think that this line is just a little bit low. This is, again, division matchups can ask for certain things. And I think Josh Allen in this spot, I think he can hit this comfortably while Buffalo can still beat the snot out of New England. So that's the prop plays we got for tonight. We went 7-2 on the props today. So pound it back for me. And then yeah, I'm gonna ask you, Johnny.
I don't have anything really crazy to say. I'm playing a couple props tonight just because. Playing a Dalton Kincaid anytime touchdown tonight.
Ooh,
yeah,
juicy.
Playing Dalton Kincaid anytime touchdown, and then I'm also playing Ramondre Stevenson 40 yards rushing. Just because, man, the Bills have actually allowed the most explosive rushing yards this season, although they're one of the better teams at not allowing backs to get to the line of scrimmage. So it's a boom or bust kind of deal for them. So I'm playing Ramondre, but I say that with a caveat because this also might be a spot where TreVeyon Henderson might get over his 40 yards. So one of those backs for the Patriots, I feel like will pop tonight and hit their props.
Hopefully it's Henderson.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's Henderson. Hopefully it's Henderson. But yeah, that being said, we about to be out of here, folks. We'll see you guys tomorrow evening where we go over our breakdowns for helping you guys on the waiver wires. And if you guys got any questions and any trade advice, we got that for you as well. So we'll see you guys tomorrow night. Peace.